Not so fast.
Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down.
The debate on the effects of immigration out of Nigeria is not new. On the one hand, some people argue that it's causing brain drain on Nigeria.
A bill seeking to mandate Nigerian-trained medical and dental practitioners to practice for a minimum of 5 years in the country before being granted a full license last week passed second reading at the House of Representatives.
And on the other hand, some people argue that people should be free to look for greener pastures wherever they can find it.
The concept of Japaing has gone beyond the youth, and people in their 50s are even, taking off and leaving the country. And that spells, tells us the depth of the rot of the economy and lack of what you call policy, strategy, policy, and the development cohesion with regards to how our leaders, lead us, in the country.
In fact, some people are actively encouraging others to find a way to migrate out of the country by all means possible, citing that the country is not likely to get better anytime soon. There has been videos surfacing on the internet of people who migrated out of the country and seem to be regretting their decision. But I'm sure if you look very closely, you would also find people who it seems to be working out for, and they're all happy and really grateful that they made that decision.
Iconic concept that has made it the #1 destination for most immigrants, the American dream. Douglas Eze is one of the 2 million Africans who decided to make it their new country and who was able to transform his life. Beyond the restless accumulation of material goods, the self-described wealth strategist and award-winning insurance agent is now climbing into the wealthiest 1% club of society.
Even though I personally would prefer to live in Nigeria and I still see the possibility of being based in Nigeria in the future, I encourage anyone who has the opportunity to migrate, but I don't encourage anyone to japa. So in other words, I encourage people to migrate, but I don't encourage that they live in a rush. And in this video, I'm going to share my reasons for encouraging people to migrate out of Nigeria and indeed out of other African countries. I believe that more of us from less developed countries need to migrate, live and work in other functioning societies in order to help open our eyes to demand our rights as citizens. There is a difference between visiting a place and living/working in that place. Even though a number of Nigerians, let's say those in the middle class and those who can generally afford it, might visit all these developed countries from time to time, I believe that it's not until you live and work in these societies would you really understand how hard the people in leadership positions and in their government work to move their societies forward. People get away with the atrocities they commit in the Nigerian political offices because for most of us, we don't really know what they are supposed to do, and we are not able to hold them accountable. Our leaders brag about doing the barest minimum of their jobs as if they are doing us a favor.
In 8 years, I came from 2019 to now. I've done 12 flyovers. I'm not saying I've done, I can name them. If you start from Abali flyover, you go to Rebisi flyover, you go to Rum Kalabo flyover, you go to Jari Junction flyover, you go to Rumola flyover. It's not true. You go to Rumoba flyover, you go to Rumokrose, you go to Kronodo, you go to Rumapricum. You go to Polaro Warugo. You go to Rumokuta. You go to Mboma. Mention the one you did.
Things have gotten so bad in Nigeria that even with the best of intentions, you can still end up doing things that are not right, and without even knowing it, because we have so normalized doing the wrong things. A lot of us who truly want the best for Nigeria and indeed a lot of other African countries would truly benefit from a mindset shift, and migrating out of our countries and seeing how things are done properly in other countries would help with this mindset shift. Most of us go through schools and universities without really being taught on what the people in government and people in leadership positions are supposed to do for us in their offices. So the truth is that the average Nigerian does not know what their local representative or even the governor is supposed to do for them when they are in the office. Heavens forbid that these people are to be seen as just another employee who are employed to do their job for which they are being paid. So tell me, how on earth can the masses hold these people accountable if they don't even know what their jobs is supposed to be in the first place? We have so normalized being our own government that we make fun of it. We provide our own water, we provide our own electricity, and even roads.
Market in Iwo that attracts traders from within and outside the states. The market is, however, being faced with lack of some facilities, including water. This solar-powered borehole is the contribution of this young individual to ease the problem of water.
Children who grow up seeing their parents be their own government would see nothing wrong in doing so, and the cycle of politicians and people in leadership positions who have no one to hold them accountable would continue. I believe that movements like EndSARS and the Obedient Movement could really take hold, because more and more of us are migrating out of Nigeria and living in societies that things are working, and we've opened our eyes to see what we're missing back in Nigeria. Some people might argue that people have been migrating from time immemorial. How come it's just now that you're saying that immigration is what is causing all these movements to take hold? And I'll say to that, there were no internet at that time, and people didn't have information at their fingertips as they have it right now. With platforms like YouTube, Facebook, etc., people are not only migrating, but they are making videos, sharing what their life is like in these environments, and people are watching it and seeing how things actually work and function in other societies. So if you ask me, should you migrate out of Nigeria, my answer would be a very big fat yes. If not for any other thing, to have a first-hand experience of what we need to start demanding of our leaders back in Nigeria. Just ensure you do your research. Do not live in a hurry. So I don't support Japa. Migrate, but do your research. Take your time so that you can really reap the benefits of migration. Migration is a really good thing if you get the opportunity and if it is done right. I believe that someday most of us who are migrating in this internet age would return back home to help build our countries. And by then we would have this mindset shift and also know exactly what we need to demand of our government and of our leaders. And we would no longer accept mediocrities in government and leadership.